Good morning, everyone. Welcome to day two, right? Day two of the morning session. And I want to know, firstly, how many of you here are building in this morning habit, are kind of like struggling with waking up and just kind of like struggling to sleep at night because the biggest challenge to waking up is sleeping early, are kind of like going through this struggling phase. Yes. Anyone, any new risers? Shreya is here. Shreya is a new morning riser. I want to tell you not to give up because this is the time when most of us give up, right? We like to go back to our default. We like to go back to our comfort zone. And it's not easy. It's a completely new challenge. And the biggest difficulty into waking up in the morning is just sleeping on time. And so this is a challenge. Goes through a challenging phase, and this challenge is going to last for a couple of days, couple of weeks, until eventually this becomes your habit and you find it difficult to switch back. Okay. I want to know how many of you, after doing the tasks such as time blocking, do it list, actually found a change through the day that you are, okay, this is nice. This is actually working. Yes. So today, see what we are learning here. These are not one-time tasks. So yesterday we learned, we learned how to do the time blocking. I mean, the previous week we did time blocking. So that doesn't mean you do it one week. You do it pretty much every week. You block out the most important tasks, and accordingly for each week, things are going to be slightly different. If your life is like mine, your week might be slightly different on a week-to-week basis, and you make sure and you block out everything, right? Exactly. Motivates you to do it rather than just plan it. And yes, and very, very important thing also is to understand that you learn so much about where your time goes. Exactly, right? We typically never have any clue about where our idea of time goes. Our idea of our relationship with time is a little messed because we are not sure on where it goes. We're not sure where it's coming. So, this kind of gives you a perspective of that. Well, all these are lifelong habits, what we're learning today. Today, your task is going to be different, but that doesn't mean that you stop it, right? You do it once. This means that, okay, this is something that you can carry on for life. We will later be doing a weekly reflection. You're going to see how a weekly reflection is going to work so much, is going to work so much fun. It's just a 20-minute activity, and it can be one of the most rewarding experiences you can have. So I want you to all just close your eyes, gently sit up straight. Let me close your eyes, sit up straight. Gently breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, let your entire body be filled with air, and breathe out. Now, as you do this, I want you to let go of any tension that is held in your body. Maybe, your legs are in a crossed position. You might want to move it out. Maybe you feel like your fingers are shaking restlessly or your hands are moving around. Many of these cases, I just want you to bring your attention to that body part that is restless, and that immediately comforts it. You will see that the shaking just stops. Follow your breath. And here, want you to suddenly place your attention on the inflow and outflow of breath. A thought might come, a thought might pass. Let the thought go. In other words, you don't have to entertain them. You don't have to entertain the thoughts. Let maybe an image of something that happened yesterday, as a show you saw yesterday, it's playing on in your mind right now. Let it pass, let it play, and it'll go on its own. You don't have to try and stop it or even try and engage with it. Let your attention remain here.
So wherever you are right now, I'd just like you to just take a moment to get comfortable. Doesn't matter whether you're parked in a stationary car, sat on a train somewhere, maybe you've just arrived home, maybe you haven't left work yet. Whatever it is, wherever you are, just taking a moment to sit comfortably. Don't have to be fully up, at least sat in a position which will allow you to find that balance of focus, relaxation, sense of ease in both the body and the mind. And as you sit there, just take a couple of nice big deep breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. As you breathe in through the nose, sense of taking in fresh air, the lungs expanding, the body expanding. As you breathe out, a sense of letting go of whatever has been going on for you today. Feeling the muscles in the body soften as the body exhales. Just a couple more times, taking deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And the next time you breathe out, if it feels more comfortable, if you're in a place where it's easy and safe to do so, you can just gently close your eyes. And as you sit there, just enjoy that initial sense of having just put everything down, having left everything behind. And just that feeling of being present again, noticing the sensation of the body pressing down against the seat, the chair beneath you. Just that feeling of being grounded, the feet on the floor, the hands and the arms on the legs. And as you sit there, just taking a moment without opening the eyes to just notice the environment around you as well. Maybe it's the sounds, the different smells. Maybe it's movement, maybe it's stillness. Maybe it's the temperature. Maybe it's the wind if you're outside. But with the eyes closed, just becoming more familiar with the space around you. And as you sit there, starting to notice how the body feels. So very often as we go through the day, we accumulate tension, just noticing if there are any obvious areas of tension in the body. Not doing anything to them, they'll unwind on their own if we approach them in the right way, but just noticing how the body feels, allowing any tension to come to the surface, knowing that's a good thing, allowing any tiredness, any feeling of heaviness to come to the surface, knowing that's a good thing. So in letting go now at this stage, we give the body and the mind space to be more alert, more awake after the exercise. And just starting to notice the breath now as well. So the breath is also a good indication of how we're feeling in both body and mind, and without trying to change the breath in any way. Just noticing whether the breaths are long, short, deep or shallow. You can just gently place your hand on your stomach if you find that more comfortable, easier to feel that movement. And again, even though thoughts may still continue to pop in, perhaps about what's happened during the day, where you've just come from, or maybe even jumping ahead to what's to come. Each time you see the mind wander off, just letting go of that and coming back to the present, that feeling, that sensation, the movement of the breath. And then mentally now, you're just going to imagine that the body, the mind is taking a shower, that any tension is being left behind. Just like you to imagine a warm ray of sunlight just shining down onto the body. You can imagine that it shines down on your back, your chest, on top of your head, wherever feels comfortable. And it's as though it begins in one place, but it expands outward in every direction. And as it does so, it just melts away any tension. You can even kind of work systematically down through the body, just watching, feeling any tension melt away. Mentally, we leave those thoughts behind. Physically, we let go of whatever's accumulated during the day. It expands outward in every direction, all the way to the end of our fingers, toes. So it's as though the entire body is not really separate anymore from that idea of sunlight. There's just a sense of ease, warmth, a sense of having reset both the body and the mind for whatever is coming up next. And in your own time, when you're ready, you can just gently open your eyes again.
That felt good, right? That felt good, right? Indeed. And I want you to know, in your journal, write 5 things that you could feel grateful for that happened within the last 24 hours. 5 things that you could feel grateful for within the last 24 hours. Now, maybe like, 24 hours, what happened that you could feel grateful for? Well, I have plenty of things that I could feel grateful for. We need to understand that gratitude does not mean it has to be grand things like, it does not have to be that it does not have to be events. There can be simple instances of conveniences where, okay, you felt good. For example, I could get a good night's sleep. There are nights when I've never been able to sleep, tossing, turning, rolling around, but I could get a good night's sleep. I'm very grateful for that. I could enjoy 3 delicious meals through the day. That is good. I am able to make almost more than 60% of people do the tasks, stay accountable. That's something I feel tremendously grateful for. Well, running water, I don't have to worry about it. There are days when, when there's no water and the challenges you face. You see, you can express your gratitude for plenty of things, and they don't have to be your, they don't have to be like grand events. Many of the things that we take for granted right now are in fact comforts and luxuries that are beyond anything, that are beyond what the kings of the past ages had. Yes, Wi-Fi, electricity. I'm super grateful that internet exists, electricity exists. I want you to take a moment and express your gratitude for the times we are living in. That our lowest of the lows is much better than the best of the past. Take a moment and express your gratitude for the time, for all the comforts that we have, for the tools we have. Sitting in your bedroom, you're able to access a class which is miles away, right? Many of you have joined in from Delhi, Bangalore, Mumbai, even perhaps 10 years ago, if you had to take a class like this, you would have to travel. You'd have to drive for 30 minutes to take a class like this. Here, just wake up and you're able to attend. Express your gratitude for all the information out there. There you go. I want you to now think about your upcoming day. Think about your coming day with all its details. starting from the morning, I want you to make your do-it list. Now here you can, all of you have done your time blocking and you mapped out the most important events through the day. Your do-it list can be more comprehensive than the calendar. While in calendar, you map out things like, in calendar, you might map out, in your calendar, you'll map out working hours, evening unwind, and then, family time, uh, do all those. But on your do it list, you can, what exactly are you going to do in work, right? What are you going to do in work? You can add the small things that you have to remind yourself to get. So one of the things that basically when you are making your do it list, you want to add the things that you want to add the habits you're trying to build. Perhaps, you're someone who is trying to sleep by 10 p.m. Maybe that's a habit you're trying to build. So you add that sleep by 10 p.m. on your do it list and then maybe you're trying to build a habit of exercise. So you add that. Maybe, so you add all the habits you want to build into the do it list. That's one thing. Second, you add the things that you might want to remind yourself to do. Like, for example, your, there is a repair in your house. There is a leak. Maybe there is a water leak and you have to call the plumber and you keep forgetting it. You tend to keep forgetting it. So I want you to add those things, that small things that you might probably forget. So make a comprehensive list of the things that are crossing your mind, but you might perhaps be missing out. I'll give you 3 minutes to quickly process your day and add your list of things that you have to do. Right? So you can make this as detailed as you want. Or it can just be this list of things that, that you might forget, but have a coherent plan. A lot of follow-ups. Maybe, you need to follow up certain people. You might want to add you might want to remind yourself to add the task at a particular time because so many of you, it actually takes just 2 minutes to share a task, right? But so many of you held it until the night. We had to send multiple reminders for you to share it. So maybe you might want to remind yourself, look, I need to share my task in the morning hour itself. Yes. Do you all have your to-do list? You can remind yourself of, make me making an Instagram post, make me making a LinkedIn post. If that's what you're trying to build, add all the things that you want to do. Any shopping that you need to get, grocery shopping, anything that you might want to send, receive, anything, any items that you might want to order, add all the things, add all the things to your to-do list. Now, if there are any things that are pending from yesterday, okay, this is super important to understand. If there are things that are pending from yesterday, you don't just ignore it. You instead, if you go back to your previous list of things that you've done, that you've added to do, and you see that there are things that are pending, you don't just ignore it. You either add it to today or another day, or then you overall delegate or delete it. If there are pending things, don't ignore them. Give them, assign another day on which when you're going to be doing it. You start, eventually you realize that you start getting better at, what are the things that are within your bandwidth. You start developing a perspective of time. I can, this much is my, this much is my bandwidth. You start getting better at it. Yes, finished off everything. That's amazing, Nikita. Amazing. Right? So no more procrastination. Now, this will remind you to not procrastinate because you see there are pending things and you don't want to have the pending things accumulate, pile up. Next week, we learn how to make a digital do-it list. So you're going to see the pending things pile up and it makes you feel guilty. So you would want to assign another date to it. All right. Yes. None. And now for the task of the day. Yes, I'll answer your question in the end. All right. Now for the task of the day. Ready? Ready for your task of the day? What is going to be the task of the day? Any idea? Clue? It's going to be, it's one of the key habits. It's the key habit after organizing your day. Okay, let me tell you. Let me tell you. So your first task that I had given you was to time block, was to share your time block calendar on Sunday. Now, this is something you're going to be doing on a week-on-week basis. Next week after weekly reflection, we're going to do. Next is your do-it list. You would have noticed that today already you have become faster at preparing your do-it list because you already did it yesterday and now you need to, this is something you're going to be doing every day. And for today, your task is to share a photo of you exercise. Exercise is one of the key habits that you must build. Now, I would not say that you don't have to, you have to work out for, you have to do a full 2-hour workout or, that's a only way it becomes an exercise. No, absolutely not. It can be something as simple as taking a morning walk. It can be you taking the jump rope, the skipping rope, and playing with it for 15 minutes. It can be a cardio activity, aerobics, yoga, swimming, badminton, any games you're playing. But move your body. For many of our psychological and energy problems, some movement is all we need. Because when you exercise, you release chemicals such as dopamines, endorphins, and they become your natural antidepressants. Those are your feel-good chemicals. And what exercise does to your mind, not even 100 therapists can do for you. Many of us say that we feel down, we feel unmotivated, hence we can't exercise. But on the other hand, giving your body some movement, that makes you feel good. That makes you feel good and that gives you the motivation. Get some sunlight. So today, go out, get some sunlight and celebrate your body. Whatever is your form of exercise. How many of you here exercise regularly? I want you to comment in your preferred form of exercise. Or rather, I want to know what is the form of exercise that you are going to be doing today. I want you to comment in. What is your preferred form of exercise? Yoga. Yes, walking and swimming for Prachanga. Disha for yoga. Gurpreet yoga. Carol is going to be walking. What about others? What about Mrinalini? Nitin is going to be doing yoga. Superb. You do look like a yoga person. Gurleen is going to be doing dance for 20 minutes and dumbbell workout. It's very nice. Morning workout plus cardio. Dance exercise. See, dancing is a great exercise. Yes, walking, cycling, play table tennis. Very physically active. Amazing. Love it. Dr. Somnath does daily yoga, walking, cycling, playing table tennis. Superb. Okay. And I want to now know plus plank. Superb. Now, in your to-do list or your calendar, what is the time you have scheduled for exercising today? I want you to comment on that. What time are you going to be doing? 5 p.m. Yes. What about others? Because see, unless it is out there on the list, unless it is there on the calendar, you're not going to do it. 7 a.m. 7 a.m. Okay. Priyanka 7 a.m. 6:45 a.m. for Priyanka. 7:30 a.m. yoga. 5 p.m. Divya. Yes. What about others? There are so many others here who are yet to answer. See, because this is a non-negotiable part of your life. Non-negotiable part of your life. Move every day is what I will say. And you don't have to, where it is not recommended that you go in high intensity every day. I myself personally work out in the gym for 2, maximum 3 days in a week, allowing my body time to recuperate. It is always recommended that you make some movement every day, some kind of walking at least, some kind of walking, yoga, stretches. Rather than a rest day, you can make it a stretching day where you're doing light stretches, breathing, and it energizes you. Yoga at 7:30, 5:30 p.m., 6 p.m. Okay. Super. So your time limit for sharing your task will be by tonight. All right. By tonight, 9 p.m., you're all going to have to share a photo. Not just do it, you have to share a proof that you did it. And how are you going to do it? It's either going to be a selfie or it can be a video. It can be a video where you recorded yourself. Maybe the Lifecraft 2 and 3 members can share. This is something that you can use this, and you can use this as a reignition motivation and record yourself. And especially for the Impact Pro members, share in the community. I've already explained where to share in the community. And it can be, it can be a photo of your dumbbell, your yoga mat. It can be a screenshot if you're perhaps, you're taking something like a Cult Fit or an app, and then they show the calories burned and all. There can be a screenshot of that. It can be a screenshot of the steps you've taken, anything. Don't cheat on this exercise, just sharing a photo. I did. We're all more mature than that. I want you to do this, okay? Superb. So that's about it for the day. All the best. Now I will unmute. I'll allow you to unmute and you may ask your questions. You all ready? Ready to take on the day? Yes. Ready. Ready. Yes, ready. Amazing, amazing. That's my people. Yes, now you can ask your question. Disha.
What is the difference between a do-it list and calendar blocking? Because in the calendar
Right. Very
blocking,
good
there
question.
is very defined and detailed of what needs to be done when. So I didn't understand the difference between the two.
Very good question. So I will show you the example with I'll show you example with my own calendar. Okay. Yeah. So here, for example, okay. So let's pick, let's pick this one today. Okay. So the week, the day. Yeah, let's pick today. See, on my calendar, I have just set deep work. That's it. I've just added a space for deep work. Now here on the do it list, I know that what needs to be worked is the ads plus landing page, plus, just what the things that are needed for launching. Okay.
Okay.
Then another example from, another day is, see, I've added basically bank work, but what are the things that I need to do? I need to go do the following up for GST registration. I need to get the stamp paper. You understand? Then
Okay.
maybe, I might add a time block for home repair because the AC is gone bad and I need to call the repair mechanic to service it, but I will forget it. So I add it onto it.
Okay.
Get it?
So basically, the little things that needs to happen today, but that is different that we will do in a set time block.
Yes, that we do within a time block. So you can think of time block as blocking the event and
Okay.
set, and see, maybe for example, I'll tell you. You might be a person who walks to your nearest yoga or the gym, yoga center or the gym. Now, on your time block, you will be adding exercise time 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Maybe that's what you're adding. But on the way back and forth, you might want to remind yourself to get a few medicines. Or, maybe stop at the nearest grocery store, get some oats. So that's what you're going to be adding on your, do it. Those are basically small reminders of for things that you might forget otherwise.
So in do it list, we should not add a broader term like exercise because that's already a time block that has
That's
happened.
already time blocked. right? That's already time blocked. Now, another reason why you can also add it to a do it list is when you add, let's say, you're someone who's trying to build a new habit, right? Let's say you're trying to build a habit like exercise itself, for example, and many people here are just striking off the do it list gives a dopamine rush, right? Striking it off gives a dopamine rush. So for that purpose, you can add it. It will serve as a reminder for this. But if you look at it in a pure utility way manner, reason to do a do it list apart from a calendar is so that you remind yourself of all the little things to do and the habits that you want to implement. There is no separate time blocked for adding the task, but that's something you add on your do it list. Submit the task. Okay.
Understood. Thank you.
Yes. Can we share yesterday's calendar? I did not understand, Harvinder. Can we share yesterday's calendar? Oh, 1 minute. By the way, the morning session is over now. You can stay back if you have any doubts you want to ask, or you want to hear the answers I'm sharing with others. Or otherwise, you can carry on with it. Okay. Yes, Harvinder, please, your question. Can we share yesterday's calendar? House cleaning can be a task. To do can be clean living room. Exactly. Love it. Maybe see, you've set 1 hour. You decide that for the next 1 week, I'm going to clean my home for 1 hour each day. Now, what are you going to clean? Maybe one day it might be like declutter. So that's what you add to the do list. Another day might be like, I want to clean the bedroom. So that's what you add on the second day. Like that. Not able to mark attendance. Don't worry, we will mark it because this is a constant challenge. I'm not able to take, we'll mark it. Okay. Have a great day, everyone. Superb. I did not understand your question, Arvinder. Can you share yesterday calendar? Okay, time block calendar. I create calendar for week. So what do you say? Today, your task, today, what you have to be sharing is a proof of your exercising. A photo or a video or a screenshot or something. Today, that's what you have to share. Now the calendar, if you have not already shared it, then please do share it. If you're not already shared your calendar, please do share it. Okay. Yes. Have a joyful day. Okay. So I will few ways to sleep early. So just a minute. I want to I have once again shared the chat in the link for attendance in the chat. If you are able to mark it. Okay. Open the link and mark it. Now, few ways to sleep early. Very good question. So one thing is what prevents a lot of us from sleeping early is that we are not used to sleeping on time. Like we are used to staying up late night. And as a result, it takes some time for your body to adjust. So one thing we need to understand is we need to be we need to be patient through this process as your body is going through a transition time and not to mess up. As much as possible, even on weekends, I would recommend you sleep at the same time because you're trying to build a habit. Now, secondly, a great way for you to get good sleep is to have an early dinner because it is recommended that you have your dinner at least 2 hours prior to your sleep. At least 2 hours prior to your sleep. Many of us eat very late and then try to go to sleep immediately. Your body is not ready for sleep yet. It's not ready to go into rest mode yet because it is very active right after you eat. It is very active in the digestion process. So that is going to prevent you from getting a deep sleep. Every time I've had a late dinner, when I went to sleep, I had a trouble sleep, often dreaming of random things. Okay. Now, another great way for you to get a good night's sleep is to avoid coffee after the mid-afternoon. You can note these things down if you want. Coffee, this I had explained earlier, caffeine has a half-life of 5 hours. And the more stronger the coffee is, the more difficult it gets for it to go out of the system. 2 days back, I had a cappuccino at around 4:30 p.m. and me, a person who typically falls asleep within 100 seconds, I tossed and turned around for 1.5 hours before I could fall asleep. I regret it. So, yeah, having a coffee, some of you, I don't know, for some of you it might be okay, but some of you might be very sensitive to coffee, so you might want to be careful of that. Now, another great way, avoid coffee after like avoid coffee like at least 6 to 8 hours before sleep. Then have an early dinner, maybe 2-3 hours before, as early as possible. I will say have a dinner. Another great thing that you can do is to follow a de-stressing routine before sleep. So one of your tasks in this week is going to have a no screen time, 30 minutes prior sleep. This is a time because watching screen, it emits those lights, those blue lights, and you are stimulated. Your eyes are stimulated. Your body is still very primitive and it cannot distinguish between day and night. So when you see these light coming, your body still thinks it's day and it does not want to go to sleep. So avoiding screen at night is a great way for you to get a good night's sleep. Okay. Then another great way for you to get a good night's sleep is to have an unwinding routine. For example, do things that relaxes you rather than things that stimulates you. Maybe reading a book that you like, maybe practicing a hobby that is relaxing for you, maybe having quality conversations, nice fun conversations with family. There are more family things to do than just watch series together, right? You can do that, you can connect with them, or you can practice some form of meditation before sleep. These are all ways you are going to tell your body to de-stress. And one practice that I have been following, which worked like a charm for me, is to get a cold shower before sleep. Before sleep, cold shower. Even if you're a warm water person, you can have a warm bath as well. Warm bath before sleep, because contrary to what we think, a water just relaxes your body. Like when you want to wake up in the morning, taking a shower invigorates you. On the other hand, when you want to go to sleep, taking a shower, it relaxes you. These are all some of the strategies I found to get a good night's sleep. Try these out and let me know how it's working for you. Okay. Which of these are you going to implement? I know it's a lot of things I said, but which of these are you going to implement? Maybe you can start with an early dinner. That's a great place to start with. Early dinner and cutting off coffee. Yes. Super. Any other questions? Yes. Okay. Super. So all the best. Have an amazing day. Now don't stop yourself from doing the things that you need to do for a need of perfectionism. Just keep progressing and you will see that you will start making progress. Just try, do the things and you will see you're automatically making progress. Okay. All right. Have an amazing day, everyone. And I wish you all the best. Okay. Bye.